Hey everybody, this is Tambian and I'm back with another Transformers video review. This time I have Transformers Generations Chromia, and once again this is from the Thrilling 30 line that comes with the figure and a comic book. As you can see here on the very front, you see the figure. She actually has one gun. If you see in here it shows two, and then I'll show you on the back a little something. That extra gun actually comes with RC. So that's a figure. That's her in her alternate mode, and this is actually a repaint, or not a repaint, but a remold of, was it Transformer Prime RC. So you can see that in her chest sculpt and then what the motorcycle kind of looks like. So come back here to the back and we can check out her bio. And then you can see a picture of her in both of her robot mode and her motorcycle mode. And then you come here and then you can see that there's actually a sticker that's been added that says additional weapon not included, which is the handgun that comes with RC. So I guess you could actually, if you wanted her to have two guns, you could rob one, or rob that gun from RC if you can happen to find both of them, because they're pretty hard to find, or at least the RC is. I know in stores around here, you go through and all you're finding are rat traps and tank ores. So they're taking basically the Chromias, the RCs, and leaving those other two figures. Let's see here. So the tech specs, you kind of saw that a little bit earlier. Really high in courage, and her fire blast. That must be her fire power also. And then you look on the bottom and you can see they actually put RC on here, and then a figure from the last wave Night Beat, which was... you can see his review. I've already done that before, so you can check him out. Alright, so let's go ahead and get her out of the package and check her out. Alright, so I'm back, and I have Chromia out of her packaging, and in her, I guess you could say, motorcycle mode. It's, I don't know what type of motorcycle it is. It kind of looks like a Tron kind of motorcycle, which looks nice and futuristic and kind of Cybertronian and such. This is actually made from the Transformers Prime RC, kind of like I stated in the opening. They did do a lot of remolding on this, and whenever I get into robot mode, I'll kind of show you a little bit more of what they did to her. But some of this you can kind of see from right here. You know, it's totally new wheelbase up in the front and the back, and there's actually a different transformation. I don't know if they did anything with the legs, because I don't have my RC anymore. So I don't really remember that. This whole back portion's new. This whole front portion with the canopy is all new. Basically, the only thing that's old from the original is the legs, the body portion, like the chest and the hips, and then the feet were the same, and then yeah, maybe some of the bits up in here for the transformation, and that's about it. Kickstand is new, is the same, but you also notice that on the legs it doesn't have the two little bits for her bladed weapons, so you don't have that either. So the feet maybe the legs may be totally resculpted, but it has a lot of the same transformation feel and the same mechanics as that RC did. So inside, along with the comic and her instructions, she just come with a single blaster. And originally I thought that she was supposed to have two blasters, and that one of them was given to RC. Come to find out that that blaster actually matches more with RC, so it's actually supposed to go with her than it does with Chromia, because the blasters for RC, they are kind of a rectangular handle, and Chromias are, you know, the normal circle kind of peg thing. And I've tried to put the little gun into Chromia's hand, and it's really hard to get it in there, because her hand is circle and that other one is a kind of rectangle, and you have to have it exactly in there just right to actually keep her holding it. It's really easy. If you just barely tap it, it'll just fall right out of her hands. Something that you can do with this gun, I don't really like it, but it shows in the instructions that you can take it and peg it right here, I feel that the handle for the gun is way too long to do this kind of thing with it. Maybe it was supposed to be a piece of the exhaust or something. They didn't point it forward like it was part of the weapon system or anything. They had it pointing backwards. So I don't know. I don't like it. I just kind of throw it off to the side unless she's in robot mode. Then I have it in her hand. You know, I have to say, this is very nice paint apps. There's a lot of paint apps on this thing. From the wheels to her legs to right here to even to the Autobot symbol on there. They are all really, really nice. So let's go ahead and get into transformation real quick. So we'll come up here and we're going to flip these out because these tab into here. So you can see that there's a little tab thing and there's a little hole that goes in there and that tabs together whenever you do that. And then you want to untab this from there. You can see the tab right there. It goes into there. Bam. Like that. And so then when you do that, then you unlock this portion so that you can actually take and fold out the legs. And when you fold out the legs, you can split them apart and flip that and then flip this around. And this time the legs are really hollow, so they don't have the portion where it's like half a wheel. It's the whole wheel that's in there. So you push that up in there. Do the same for this one, like that. You know, flip this back, and you can see that there's two tabs. Tab there, and then there's the holes in the arms, right there, little ridges. And that tabs into there. The first time I did this, I thought that you had to bend the shoulder down because it's really weird with the way that the shoulders are on there, but you don't actually have to. You can just leave them to the side, and I'll show you that in what I'm speaking of in just a little bit. So let me go ahead and bring this camera up a little bit. Alright, so take this, rotate this around, rotate it to the side so that it sits right there. Then we want to take and bend the waist down, and when it bends the waist down, it pushes the head up. Then it locks into place. Take this and rotate it down like this. You can go like that, or you can have it up just a little bit so it doesn't look as much of a backpack type thing. Just kind of depends on what you want to do. Chromia. Alright, so that's pretty much her in robot mode. Let's get her standing straight at least. And this is her gun. So like I said, see, if you look at it, it looks like her hand's open, but it's actually a circle. You can see that circle right there. It's very hard to get her to grab and hold the other gun. So you can check out the head sculpt. You can see there is some light piping on it, but it's not very strong. Alright, so we'll look at articulation now. Let's start off with the head. It's on a ball joint, so you can go down, you can go back a little bit, turn left and right. Then you come to the shoulders right here, and what I was speaking of earlier is I thought that you had to push it down like so, because you can see it's on a joint. This shoulder portion right here. Undoubtedly you don't have to do that because you can actually push it all the way down, but it's not needed for transformation. So you don't have to worry about that. Front, back, out to the side, because that ball joint. Then there's a twist. Actually, no, there's no twist right there. There is a elbow joint, which is a ball joint, and then you can twist it, and it's actually hard to twist because it's a softer plastic, so it actually wants to twist the plastic instead of twisting the ball joint or the joint within there. So be very, very careful with that, because this plastic is really, really flexible. So then you have the hands, and it's on a ball joint, so you can twist those and do all such of things like that. English is not working again. Here with the legs, it's on a ball joint where the hip is, so you can go forward. You would be able to go back, but it's hindered by this little skirt thing, and you can go out to the side if you flip that out like that. Then right underneath there is a pivot, and this pivot is very smooth, even on both sides. Sometimes you get those pivots like that, and especially right here where the ball joint is, and there are all kinds of really tight. And this one is actually pretty smooth. It's not loose, it's smooth. So then you come here to the knee, and you can bend the knee. It looks like it's supposed to be a ratchet, but it's not. And then there's nothing really for the toe. There's very little movement, but it'll go right back up whenever you do it. And with that, I'll go ahead and conclude my review of Chromia. Don't forget to check out my other videos, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. This has been Tembioda, and I'll see you next time.